Hi guys, welcome back to 30 Days to Your First Website Design, a Tuts Plus premium course. I'm Ian Yates and today we're going to talk about the features section. Let's take a quick look at what we're going to cover in this video. Well, there's very little theory to wade through with this one, so we'll take a look at a couple of feature section examples and then we'll dive right into our layout PSD to work on our own features section. Then, as always, I'm going to ask you to complete an assignment before we attack the next video. Now, the purpose of a features section is pretty straightforward. It's there to grab users' attention. It's placed usually in direct line of sight upon opening the home page, informing the user of something interesting and usually suggesting a follow-up action. We've mentioned calls to action before, and this is a classic example of where to position one. A tempting link which takes the user further towards completing a goal. Take, for example, ThemeForest. Its feature section informs first-time visitors of the site's performance rate and offers several options to take the user further. Then we have the Firefox homepage at mozilla.org/firefox. Here the feature section is used to house a large strapline plus a conspicuous call to action. Often sites will use features section to display a slideshow or a video. Excellent ways of maximizing content within a limited area and adding an element of dynamism too. So enough of this talking, you've seen enough slides to last a lifetime. Let's open up Photoshop and continue our layout. If you recall our sketch, we'll be looking at finishing the testimonials and adding some details about the team. So we'll exit from our presentation and we'll open up Photoshop here, continuing on from where we were last time. Here we have our layout PSD. Okay, we're going to be working in our features folder here. So let's begin by separating off our testimonials area from our team information section there. So we're going to do that with a simple horizontal rule, which we'll do in the form of a 1 pixel line directly on, let's just sample that, directly on this guideline here. We'll hold down Shift in order to restrict the movement along the axis, and that should be as simple as that. Let's just remove our, there we go, that's fairly clear. Now let's add a call to action in our testimonials area. Let's stick another folder in here, we'll call that call to action. And we're going to add a circle which is going to function as a sizable button. We'll use our deep red as the color, and we're going to put it centrally, slightly inwards, and we're going to drag that circle like so, and that's actually already prepared the multiplier and the opacity to 80%, so that just brings a little bit of the texture through, which is quite neat. Now I want to actually copy this little bit of text down here, so I'm going to drag that down there and put that in our call to action folder. This we're going to make centrally aligned, and we're going to color it the same as our button. We're just going to add a little bit of information so as to make it perfectly clear what's going on. There we go. And that we'll put underneath our button, centrally aligned like so. Then we could do with a nice big arrow to suggest a bit of direction. So let's just use a symbol like so, and enlarging that. We want that white to go in the center of the button, and okay, that's fine. Let's change the typeface to another free typeface, Quicksand, which you can go and grab on fontsquirrel.com. Just the normal one, the book, will be fine. That's way too big, so we're going to trim that down. Actually, let's use the bold. There we go, that's much more attractive. A bit smaller. and then we'll just shift that visually into the middle. It's not actually centered, but because of the form, you can see if you blur your eyes slightly, that looks more aesthetically pleasing if we just knock it to the right slightly, a bit more balanced. Okay, so that's going to act as quite a functional call to action. We've got our testimonial. That balances the page nicely. It's fairly striking. It aligns at the bottom there. Okay, that's very pleasant. Now, what we're going to do now is we want to add 3 images, 3 columns, each one containing an image, a title, and a bit of text. So, we'll begin by just making a single column in our, we're going to call this team, and we're going to add column 1. Okay, that's going to go in the team folder there. Okay, let's bring up our guides and our grid so we can see what's going on. Now I've prepared 3 images. We're going to bring those in firstly, one at a time. So we go to File and Place. Alternatively, you can open them up separately and drag them in. I'm going to use the first face like so, and in it goes. Now, it fits perfectly between these gutters and these columns, so we'll just double click that, and that's that done. So that actually belongs in our first column, so we'll leave that like so. I've also prepared a bit of text for each column, introducing each member of our happy staff. So this first guy is called John Smugman, and I'm just going to copy that text, and let's create a text area which matches the same width as our image there. So that is 4 columns and 5 gutters, like so. It wants actually to be left aligned, dark grey colour, and it's going to be just Arial for the body text as we discussed at 14 points, and obviously just regular. We're also going to make sure that that's got a fairly normal, where have we gone? Okay, what am I doing? Sorry, let's just get rid of those and drag it again. We've got all the settings correct. Okay. Alright, we'll paste that in there. So we're on 14 pixels, 20 pixel line spacing. Let's just darken that up a touch. Okay, very neat. Now this is our header, and we're going to use our Lato or Lato typeface for that, which you'll remember from the previous screencast. It wants to be considerably bigger, so let's just drag that up to 30 pixels. Much better. And we'll increase the space just for this first character here, which will knock that slightly further away. Now let's edit this read more link at the bottom there. That's going to be the same red as our call to action button, and we're going to underline it like so. Okay, so we'll get rid of our guides and our grid once again. That's fairly clear. Alright, can actually add a little more spacing there and fit that like so. Actually, I want that title to be bold as well. We'll use our Lato bold. Maybe 28 instead of 30. Parfait. Okay. So that's got our first column in there. Now we want to, just to speed things up, let's duplicate these columns. We'll remove our auto select, drag up our guides, and drag this one along. That's going to be central, of course. So that fits on this one. and then again, and this fits on this one. Now we'll just rename these to keep things organized. Alright, now we need to get rid of a few of the images. That's incorrect. You can see these have been brought in as smart objects here, so double clicking on that will open it up as a separate image to edit, which is pretty handy. Okay, so let's get rid of that second one here, and also our third one, and then we'll just bring them in. Firstly, as we're editing the third column, we'll bring the third one in, like so, and then in our second column, file, place, and our second image. These can be whatever you like, of course, but I've just used a few of the sketches which I'd used in this presentation just for the sake of ease. And it suits the style of the site as well, so let's move those, add a little bit of spacing there. Okay, now I'm going to update our text. This second guy is called Barry Widegrin. Oops, that wants to be Arial. Actually, we'll select everything but the title. That's going to be Arial, normal, regular. So that was 14 pixels at 20 pixels line height. First letter of course at 30, just to add a bit of spacing there. Then we have our third bit of text, like so. Here we go. Oh. 20 and 30 for the first character. And of course, his name. There we go. So that gives us our three columns, our three images, our titles, a little bit of text, our call to action next to our testimonials there, so that serves as quite a good attention grabber. This is going to actually be a little interactive slideshow. We're going to rotate these testimonials just to add a little bit of dynamism. So we're going to need a little bit of navigation. So let's quickly just add that now. We have our three columns here and our team. We've got our testimonial, so now we'll add another folder there and call it nav. Stick it under the testimonial folder. Okay, this is going to be very straightforward. I'm literally going to add 4 circles. I'm going to colour them in our base green, and they're going to be centrally positioned. One button, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are our 4 buttons. Now we'll just select the top one, drag it slightly over here, and this one over here. Then we'll select all 4 of them and distribute them evenly. Okay, that seems to be fairly well centered. And that needs to be knocked over one more, I think. There we go. Okay, now I'll highlight one of them, as that one's going to be our currently selected slide. Not that one. That one. Okay. So they're going to serve to illustrate our navigating through the testimonial slides. Now, of course, as we go along, we can alter the spacing on things as we go, and we can even do it in the browser as well. so that's not a problem at all. If I just click, for example, these two folders, that's our testimonial and our call to action, you just nudge those up slightly, and then also nudge up our navigation links a little bit. Okay, this is coming along nicely. Let's just Command and S that. So now we've pretty much dealt with this whole upper region. Very good. Okay, now let's jump back into our presentation, where I'm going to tell you that the only assignment really for this piece of the series is to continue and build up our features section in the Layout PSD. Now, next time on 30 Days to Your First Website Design, we're going to look at designing our contact form. I'm Ian Yates, and from all of us at TutsPlus, thanks again for watching.